I decided to just go live here last minute. Today, I wanted to talk about profitability, and I'm going to share with you 5 tips on how to increase the profitability of your recruiting business. And I'm going to stay in my lane here, and we'll be talking about the areas and how I help my clients increase their profitability. Okay. So, first, let me share a couple of things right away that might actually be killing your profits and decreasing your profits in the company. All right. The first thing that I find is being a generalist. Typically, generalists, even though they can generate revenue, they're not as profitable because there's not as much repeat tasks, opportunity, and all of their outreach and systems have to be kind of customized to whoever they're reaching out to. So that's the first thing that can be killing the profitability is just kind of being a generalist, being everything to everyone out there. Okay. The next thing is the thinking that just going out and making more sales is going to increase your profit. Yeah, making more sales can increase your profit, but if you don't have some of the other things dialed in, then really what you're doing is you're just creating, might be creating more revenue, but you might be decreasing your profit. So the answer to growing the business and increasing profit isn't necessarily always increasing the sales if other parts of our system are broken. Okay. The other thing that gets killing the profit is the traditional desk model. This manual pound the phone, outreach is dying. And if you don't get in front of it, then you'll go with it. It's just a challenging thing to be relying on the traditional desk model. It's not saying that it's not working, but if anybody that's been in this game for long enough knows that it continues, the efficiency of it, the results of it continue to decline, not incline or increase. Okay. And then we're working on every job in town, right? I'm just taking on every single job in town. So those are some of the things that are, I see that are usually killing recruiting organizations' profitability. So let's dive into those 5 tips of how we can make the recruiting agency more profitable. So the first one is making sure that you have processes in place. Okay. And a lot of companies, a lot of, boutique recruiting firms haven't taken the step to actually build out processes. Okay. And you really want to streamline your processes. So, take a 30,000 foot view, look at your video, your business from up top and start to see about all the different workflows. What are your admin processes? What are your recruiting processes? What are your marketing processes? What are your sales processes? What are your processes around finances? All of these things should be dialed in. And here's why, because processes lead to consistency. And if you really want to fine tune something, that starts with being consistent so that I know what types of tweaks I want to make. And so it's incredibly important that you document your processes, you lay your processes out, and then you share them with everybody that's in your organization so that you have a well-oiled machine. And then the processes and the consistency are naturally going to increase your profit. So that's the first step, is focusing on those, on the consistency and building out processes that can streamline your efforts on the recruiting business there. Excuse me. Okay. The next thing is increase your value in the marketplace. What do I mean by that? Well, if, right now with your marketing presence and your brand, so to speak, if you're just another recruiter, it's tough to charge higher fees. It's tough to demand, more from your clients. It's tough for your clients to actually see the value and why they should pay you a higher fee. And so if you want to, if you can increase your value in the marketplace, then naturally what you should be able to do from there is increase your fees. Okay. And, to increase your value in the marketplace, start showing up, start adding value, start sharing your expertise. That's really how you can differentiate yourself. And once you're differentiated, then the hiring decision makers and hiring managers can justify in their mind, hey, this is why I'd want to work with this person, because you have increased your value in the marketplace. Okay. Now, the next thing is focusing on your relationship with the client. I think this could be one of the biggest things. What I mean by this is there's a lot of recruiters that are order takers, okay, meaning that they'll just take any and every job that comes across their plate. But what happens here is a lot of times, people get stuck in, working and putting a bunch of effort on jobs that they're never going to be paid on because of, over competition, because the job's just flat out not fillable, because the, employer that you're working with doesn't have good comp structure, isn't offering remote, all of these different things that are coming up right now. So what is your relationship with your actual client? Should be your focus. Now, contingent, retained, exclusive, container, heard them all. Okay, I don't think that's as important as your client valuing you. Now, there's a lot of folks out there that are going to say, "Hey, you got to go retain to get this done," and I think that's a lot of the common thinking. But I think as long as you're getting an exclusive relationship with your client, then you're going to increase your profitability because you're going to be working more on jobs that you will fill rather than priding yourself on being busy on jobs that you won't, right? And so if we're looking at everybody's working on things we know we're going to get paid for, naturally we're going to have more profitability. But when you have a team of people that are out there working constantly contingent that aren't going to be paid for, there's no profit there. It's killing your profit. It's cutting into it. So that's the thing, is really focus on how can you, really develop stronger relationships with your clients, and work on how that you can increase the feedback. All of that will increase the profit in your business. Okay, the next thing is leverage your desk, right? So whether you're an independent recruiter or if you're a boutique agency running a team, you should be focused on how can you leverage everybody's desk. And what do I mean by leverage your desk? Well, traditionally this industry is all one-to-one, right? You see a candidate, you pick up the phone. You see a candidate, you send a single email. And I'm not telling you to stop doing those things. You need to continue to do those things. But in order to leverage yourself, you want to be focusing on things like automation. Automation can drive your message and your brand faster than what you can do or your team can do in a day. And this is what I want you to think of as in addition to, rather than in a replacement of. But if you were to just look at round numbers, hey, let's say you're doing that traditional 100 calls a day. Okay, that's 500 per week, whether you're doing it, multiple desks or one desk. Let's just talk about the one desk because I'm not good at math, and we'll talk about some round numbers again, like I said. So if we're doing 500 calls a week, that's amazing. Okay, but how many of those calls are actually impacting somebody? How many of them are actually listening to voicemails? I'd venture to bet probably less than 5%, right? So if I want to leverage myself, I want to do something on top of that isn't going to take any more effort from the recruiter. I want to utilize technology that allows the recruiter, again, whether I'm the independent, to be more efficient, right? Or my team to be more efficient. One of the greatest ways you can do that is leverage automation, okay? Using automation, whether it's email automation, whether it's LinkedIn automation, it doesn't matter. It's using something that can drive our brand faster. Now, automation doesn't mean spamming people. Automation just means using tools to get our message to people quicker. And so rather than sending out 500 messages a day, I can be sending out 1,000 plus, right? Or 500 a week, I can be sending out 1,000 plus, and even more qualified and better. The other thing that goes into leveraging your desk, and this one's definitely outside of the box, is creating content. Now, how does content leverage my desk? Well, if I were to create a post in the morning and I continue to really buy in and develop the skill, that's going to go back and help these other steps we talked about, which is increasing your value in the marketplace. But it's also going to help leverage you while you're working, are driving traffic around your brand, around your message to over, let's say, I don't know, 400 or 500 views a day on the low end. And, a lot of people out there are going out and impacting the market and touching 10,000 people a day with just a simple post. So you're leveraging yourself. You're getting your message out while you're doing the other revenue driving activities. So that's the fourth tip, is making sure that you leverage your desk. The fifth tip is definitely, if you're in that boutique agency, is you got to hire the right people. You got to take the time to really hire the right people. And right now, recruiters are in great demand, and nobody ever went to school to be a recruiter. So it's not like you have a big stockpile of these people graduating every year coming into the industry. So you really need to be creative on how you recruit and attract talent. But more importantly, once they're in your organization, you got to buy all into training and investing them. And that's why it's important that you have systems and processes in place that they can follow so that you can train them to their maximum ability. Okay. And really, you should be focusing on boosting every single person in your office, boosting their productivity. So we just talked about how we can do that with leveraging the desk with automation, but how can you help them improve their daily routines? How can you help your team become happier in life? How can you show them different things and routines to perform at a higher level? Is what every recruiting agency should be doing, is truly developing their team and their players and giving them the resources to be successful, not only on the job, but be successful at home. Because when people are successful and happy at home, we all know that they're going to generate and produce better for us at work. And that consistency, that productivity is again going to add into more profit. Okay. Really take the time to define to your new hires, what does good look like? What does that look like for them? Help them create those routines, reward them for their productivity, and feed your beasts, feed your most productive people. Get more in front of them, the ones that are going to be, business isn't a fair world if we're being honest, right? And if you're playing business to be fair, you're probably playing to be last. Okay, you want to be able to feed the people that are successful and give them more, and challenge the people that aren't achieving their goals to become better, help them with their routines. Okay, so those are the 5 tips that I have for you to help become a more profitable recruiting business. Again, focusing on having streamlined processes in place. Okay, increasing your value in the market. Changing and developing those relationships with the clients so that you're more a partner with the client rather than just being another recruiter. Okay, leveraging the desk by using automation and marketing, and then lastly, making sure that we're surrounding ourselves and hiring great people, training, developing, helping them with routines, helping them be happy at home, and really, providing the best overall experience. So, hey, if you're looking to dial in the marketing and business development processes for your business, and you want to, strike while the iron is hot right now, and make sure that your team is leveraged, your desk is leveraged, making sure that you're changing those relationships with your clients and candidates, making sure that you're increasing the value in the marketplace, then drop a comment below or send me a direct message. Let's get on a quick phone call. We'll talk about how the relevant recruiter method can specifically help your business become more profitable. This is how I've helped Katie Kelly improve her desk, Leslie Boudreau improve her desk, John Randolph, Leslie Boudreau improve her team, John Randolph grow his recruiting business, never make a phone call, cold call again. Tom Caravella become one of the most well-known brands in the medical science liaison niche. The Talents Group down in Texas. These are all things that we're doing to help them become more efficient, more profitable, and advance their team. So if that's you, drop a comment below, send me a direct message. Don't wait. Let's take action on this. Right now is the time to take advantage of this hot market. And you don't need to hire more people to generate more revenue. You can put in systems and processes. You can take your exact team, make them more efficient, make them more productive, and shove more money into your pocket, into their pocket. Everybody's happy. This is Donnie Gupton. We'll see you in the next one.